Took ballet classes a couple years as a little girl. Fun to dance in front of the mirror. Learn the positions they teach you, but I wasn't very good, so I quit all the twirls. Now I know it's because I was meant to make leaps and bounds. Decades later on the stage of a queen, one day realizing that we're both majesties would be the key to serenity. They let you run through fields of daisies when you're young, make you feel innocent. Soon as you pick one for yourself and call it beautiful, they tell you you have to pick yourself apart. Never say I love me, curse every petal with I love me not. Hips too wide, thighs too thick, glorify a flat stomach, live in fear you might lose it. These are the seeds they plant so we can never bloom, make us feel like broken stems to be cast aside and doomed. What we're given isn't good enough, their voices like weeds at our feet, growing rapidly, binds and tangle us with unattainable imagery. The worst kind of villains don't just hate us, they teach us to hate ourselves, but disguise it and normalize it, saying no woman likes the way she looks, you wouldn't want to stray from that rule book. They gave us thorns, made it the norm to scorn other women for anything and everything. Showing too much of your body, oh what a sin. Heaven forbid you show your own skin, the kind they never want you to feel comfortable in. They say you must hide your body, your naked self is to be revealed only for a man, that we are here for male pleasure. They tell us that's our purpose, a twisted, archaic perspective to reduce us. They did it so men would always have the upper hand. They think with one tap of their spear they're the ruler of Athens. Ooh, but now you see the flickers of Athena above you. You hear that thunder, don't you? That it sends bolts through the expected submission you orchestrated. That ominous music scares you when it haunts you. That's the sound of karma coming back around. You tried to keep our anger underground. You tried to unduly judge us, made it the law of the land to ignite hate among us. But a higher court of empowering queens is forming now. All us queens are raining down. Who's raining now? You better take cover. Don't let her crowns hit you on the way down, cause Dame Karma, she don't fuck around. I love my fellow queens, beautiful women already, but now they're even more stunning to me. The kindest hearts and the best memories, their confidence and vulnerabilities, the love we share even through digital embraces and Zoom release parties. Now they're even more immaculate and lovely. What a blessing how we can see the beauty of another soul, with or without a change to their physicality, a beautiful truth that explains the depth of what changed within me to achieve a personal epiphany. For years I never saw myself as sexy, couldn't look too long in the mirror before showering because it only led to harshly critiquing parts of my body. It would only end in tears as the steam fogged up the mirror. I thought I'll never look like the actresses I see in carefully edited nude scenes, because that's what a sexy woman looks like, doesn't she? Till a beautiful naked woman suddenly emerged to help me. The first time I saw her, I couldn't believe. I turned on the water, slipped off my clothes to step onto the scale as I sighed, but before I could look down, knowing the lowness they want me to pine, an ethereal figure caught my eye, and she looked into mine. Is there a goddess in here with me? Look at her body, oh my god, it's stunning, the epitome of beauty, genuine and sexy. Is she real, and who is she? Oh my god, that beautiful naked woman is me. And every day I get to be her again. Love who I am. She is untouchable, the only woman I embody. I get to touch her, I'm so lucky. The rarest kind, the only one. They preach that we have only two choices. Give your body to a man for his pleasure or save it for God. Which one of those do you want? Imagine the headlines when she realizes she's the only one inside herself to fucking decide for herself, with no religious ties or ancient rules to which she'll abide, because now she isn't afraid to fucking assert the perfect self-worth of herself. You mean upon further reflection she realizes she has other options, gets to make her own choices, and her reason is for the love of herself? Fuck, it's like a female inception. This breaking news is so unheard of, so I've written the headline, Self-Loving Woman Wants All Women to Love Themselves and Lift Each Other Up. The era of self-hatred and judgment they taught us has come to an end. Raise your royal cups. In the headlines that follow, I proclaim the dawn of a new era. Self-loving women are thriving and living their best everything. You know, I sure love the ring of that. I always knew I had good taste. That's the only ring you'll ever see me chase. In all those dark years of doubt, I was so certain I had it all figured out, that I'd always feel sad and out of place, that these were facts unchangeable and carved in stone, that it was inevitable I'd feel worse with every passing nightfall. So given the choice to conform or leave this place, I told God he needed to take me, because they won't take me as I am, and I can't take it another second. So let's just move it along. Take me to the clouds where no one is judged. I want to call that place home. The facts I thought were set in stone, it turns out it was their condescending conditioning of women that made me carve such negative thoughts, and they weren't facts at all. The strength to erase them and move that stone aside was the key all along. The darkness within me had had enough. She took all the outspokenness I suppressed and used it as fuel to set out on a trek. When I moved that stone aside, it transported me to a mountaintop where the darkness greeted me and delivered a life-changing monologue. While you sat for years in a stalemate fog, hopeless and fragile, I couldn't take it anymore. I took flight, navigating miles through uncharted forests, with each step becoming more agile, clever, forward-thinking, and brave. Every night I dipped my feet in glow-in-the-dark paint, so one day you'd see all the progress I made. No one saw me moving ahead and glowing through the night. They only look for things you can fit in a Facebook post or a living room frame, like someone fixing their train before saying I do, or releasing balloons to reveal pink or blue. They only saw the same path they were on, perceived us as moving farther and farther behind, getting smaller in the rear view as they cruised along. But how can we fall behind on a path we're not even on? I want you to look back now at how far we've come, a glowing path of our footprints stretching miles and years that only I could foretell. Now they'll see we've been moving ahead all along, just on a separate path, running parallel. You had the key to lift the fog all along, finally found it behind the stone, but you kept me in the dark and I grew impatient, so I picked the locks. But this last one is for you. She motions to a small cave covered by a large unmarked stone. To bring the darkness to light, this time you must go alone. Suddenly I'm back to a younger Sonny standing in front of the tomb of a future me, someone I didn't want to meet. The song I wrote asking God to take me went unanswered. I never knew why till this moment. Now I know it's because a braver, stronger me. It was so a braver, stronger me could set free the soul of me that I had killed. There she lies, a goddess wrapped in white silk clothes. Radiant gold light surrounds her and flickers along the walls of the tomb. I approach her, put my hand to her cheek and say, I'm so sorry I kept you here all this time. Hope was too exhausted and discouraged. I couldn't keep the thought of a worthy future me alive. We were smart, curious, and fierce like Veda and my girls shining through advanced English classes, but every time our uniqueness was threatened, I let our sparked in became grim and buried the forthcoming you too soon like Thomas J. without his glasses. Remember the small pink mirror with 2 doors that showed us a new world. It was supposed to be a fashion boutique for our My Little Ponies, but instead we walked around holding the mirror in front of us so it faced the ceiling, pretending to step over door frames like we were stepping into another realm. Remember the glowworms we used to hold up to the lamp at night? They were our nightlights till they faded and the clock ticked past our bedtime. Remember we drew Mufasa on the ceiling and glow in the dark paint. On the ceiling and glow in the dark paint, wanted to ensure our imagination shined bright even when we closed our eyes. A yearning to be up above so strong that later when despair moved in, I put a halo on you too soon, thought I already sealed your fate. But your cheeks are still warm and your heartbeat is echoing, tales from the darkness we're telling, please tell me I'm not too late. She opens her eyes, looks at me and smiles, a gaze so deep I can't help but cry. Now suddenly a change in the perspective through my eyes. Now I'm the older me rising up from the stone where I for so long had lied. We take each other's hands as I stand. The white silk around me falls to the ground. My halo fades and transforms into a crown. I put my hand to her cheek as the sun is dawning and say I always knew you were the one, my young beautiful Sonny. I know why you were afraid, why you dreaded the years ahead, because now that we're grown they want us to be one type of woman, because that's all they've ever known. The dress that we chose isn't one of a bride or for another's love to win. We chose the attire of the woman in the mirror. She felt more comfortable in her own skin. I figured out how to protect our energy from those who try to tear us down. We've got a force field of glowing orbs around us. A queen gave them to us. They run on empowerment, self-love, and confidence. They didn't think we'd ever grow up. Now we're standing on a mountaintop. Walk with me out of this tomb and look at the glowing path behind us. How's that for a splendid, transcendent glow up? How's that for a splendid, transcendent glow up? Now every letter we type will set us free. The dark vision you used to see of a girl in an empty bed, looking dead in the eyes, she was a vision of this tomb where I'd be. But it wasn't to scare you into avoiding the future. It was to show you this moment right now where you are her savior. Made friends with Mother Time, now she's always on her side. The shadows that used to haunt us, we transform them into pigments, ocular decorations that we apply newly every morning. Now our visions are brighter and more vibrant. Look how the sun washes over the fields around us. The cast-aside daisies turned into sunflowers. They tried to subdue our expression, said that's the wrong direction. A man, a house, and a car seat. Why wouldn't you want that in your timeline? They recognized our gift for writing, but tried to get us to write their story, not mine. Beauty without the beast. The transformation was in me. Now every letter we key inspires other queens. Rhythmic poetry, a bounty like they've never seen. The love story of a queen came to be through perspective, reflection, and acceptance. Every decision we poured over and over thought there was a method to my madness. The heated discussions between all our emotions and reasoning, it meant every truth I discovered came to me in sublime harmony, a celebration of all of me. Here's to happiness and prosperity. Raise your thermos with me. My beverage of choice, I chose water over wine. That's the thing that's so divine, is we all have free will to make up our own minds. I picked the best spirits to consume, the fountain of truth. So we'll be as provocative as we want, but won't give any fucks. They try to define our existence, saying you must give your body to one of two men, either the man in front of you or the one above you. You cannot keep your body for yourself or recognize it as anything else. And heaven forbid you celebrate it. The judgment spews off their tongues, hot like devil's breath. The truth within me is so unheard of that they'll never guess. Caressing my own skin, existing for me, a calling that is mine alone. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the hottest goddess I should listen to when others try to reduce my reflection? Well, it's you, my love, and that's on God. The fantasy is still a place I go, my favorite realm, because I'm the one in control. He loves me, adores me, touches me the only way I want to be touched. No risk of aggression, no pressure or growing disdain. He knows he's the luckiest man, plays my desires like a refrain. The love infused into every kiss, every touch, every breath down my body. He can't believe he's breathing the air of a goddess. Every to my ear, every lick to my there, every kiss down my chest to my just like that. Tears turn to sweat beads, jeweled body of a queen, naked with a crown, body to run his hands up and down. I replay it in my head, but he'd have to be heaven sent. That's why I keep single as my still and heaven as my yet. Can trust him on earth, the threat of manipulative force, misogyny at its worst. So I'll save it for the world above. That's where I'll have that kind of love. No need for greed, violence, or power. No monetary society, no harm to earthly bodies. Where settling for less doesn't exist. The sky's the limit when we're walking on it. No reason to mistrust. I'll know it's genuine love and authenticity through all eternity. And three realms is where my mind lives. The fantasy, heaven, and reality. My mind's holy trinity. Romantic love for me only exists in two of the three, and it's not the world that you can see. Liars shout at my body and pretend to be enamored, but it's just lie after lie that they weave, because they only live to conquer. They're in denial that they're catcalling and try to justify it, saying, well, what a bitch, I was just being nice. Well, it's a shame I'm so sensitive. I guess we're back to boys will be boys, and I'm supposed to be accommodating. I'll try to be more thoughtful and sparing with my poison. So sorry that my angry glare and lack of verbal response makes you want to call me a harlot, but bitch, you walked into my web. Now I'm gonna make you cry harder than Charlotte's. Funny, you think if you get a response at all, you must really be slaying. Well, I've got tendencies of a mantis. You're the one who should be praying. So maybe next time you'll think before you try to fuck up my good energy. Maybe you'll hold your tongue before you so much as purr at me. They said a strong woman was the wrong woman to be. Expect me to live life in a submissive white dress to be. If it were up to me, I'd be rocking a J-Lo Super Bowl outfit every day of the week. Fucking slaying this shit. Walking myself down the aisles of Target. Cause what they fail to understand is showing skin ain't about anyone else. Just the goddess who rocks it. One of a kind fashion, all this self-love that I'm wearing. No, this body ain't for sharing. Still they want to try to be my bae, playing the same tired old melodies. Well, you ain't gonna make it past do-re, cause I decided to keep me. Turns out I was the goddess all along, and I decided to keep me.